I wish I'd made a video on this. Okay. Did you see? So some Blue Beetle comic book made Jeremy Griggs a villain. This is Jeremy Griggs, except for the shit he's saying. He doesn't say this shit. Talking about multiculturalism, all this shit that they haven't said.
Is this a new comic? Radicalized?
I don't know. That sounds pretty based.
It's this book right here.
Oh, look at it. That's embarrassing. Look at it. I'm sorry.
Well, it's
not entirely Hispanic twink.
Not entirely. This is a book that they sell in those for like Scholastic. It's like a young adult book.
Well,
so like DC's been doing a lot of these young adult, not like graphic novels. That's what this is. And in it, one of the villains is Geeks and Gamers Jeremy Griggs.
He looks pretty based there, so I mean, good for him.
Well, like I said, is this how
they're framing him like some kind of liar? But that's the truth. Is people can't speak the truth, whether it's because of whatever's they're spinning on their sponsors, they're shilling. And when all of the publications agree with one thing, they're turning everybody radical by hiding the truth from them. So now we're framing this guy as a villain or something to mock.
This isn't even the first time this has been done. They've done it to Young Rippa. Young Rippa's been turned into a comic book villain.
Didn't they do that with What's-His-Face and She-Hulk? Doom?
Yeah, I think they did. I think they made Doomcock the villain in She-Hulk.
They have time for that. You know what I mean?
In a Moon Knight comic, they also made another guy. He's smaller, but this guy named Doug Ernst. The writer hated him. His name is Max Bemis, and he was writing the Moon Knight comic, and he actually put Ernst in his comic. So they hate us. These comic book people, they're still watching us, still salty, still putting us in comics. I just thought that this was this is the latest example of it, and it's undeniably him. They're for sure. This is based on him.
Sucks. That's what I've got to say.
This is wild shit, man.
Being white and straight. That's exactly what it's. Did you see a CNN article that said something like, the trend is to bring back the white guy? Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay. In conjunction with the Washington Post freaking out for something as simple as saying, we want to be impartial. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now they do?
Finally? And the LA Times, yes. They're refusing to acknowledge, they're refusing to endorse a candidate.
They're telling on themselves. This is why I knew why Sweet Baby Inc. existed, is because they can't shut the hell up. So before the VGAs last year, I had a bunch of reactions from different people rolling their eyes, freaking out, mad as hell at Sweet Baby Inc. because the people writing, consulting, developing, they just can't shut the hell up. And for 10 years, I understand, they've had the runway to be however they want to be without issue, and now they're running to blue sky. But the issue is straight white men. It's coming out of their mouths. So I don't know how this comic book I assume it's kind of recent. It's trying to frame it like, these people are crazy. It's a conspiracy. Okay.
This is a new book. I think it came out like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Embarrassing, because the last time I heard about Blue Beetle, it was some idiot in a trailer talking about how Batman's a fascist, and I'm sick of it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
The what's his name? What's his name?
Some Carlos, maybe.
Shit.
He was on the. I just think
he's
a low rider.
Beetle. He's supposedly a comedian, though I never hear him say anything funny. Somebody in the chat will get the name and
yeah, I don't know. I know you're talking.
He's always in sitcoms. They're always putting him in sitcoms. That guy.
There's a lot of them like that.
George Lopez. There we go. Thank you. Thank you.
No, I said Carlos, man. That's 2 different Hispanic dudes. Please, I take it back. I'm sorry.
It's George Lopez. Lopez.
He was funnier when people didn't a lot of white people didn't interact with Hispanic people. So you're like, oh, ha, ha, the Mexicans are silly. Now you're like, it's not really that really funny anymore.
I just miss everybody getting their share. That's when it was real funny, And it feels like it's been that long too. Like I haven't really laughed at some stuff like since Chappelle or Boondocks, or because there's so many protected people now that comedy has lost its edge. So that's part of why I'm on doing what I'm doing, because things suck. So Endymion saying, "Oh man, I'm not in the movies because the movies suck, brother. Everything sucks." And the few gems that we can find, there's so many leagues above other bug that I'm thinking, how good is this even? Is it just that it's better or serviceable or watchable compared to the other trash? Because that's how I felt about Deadpool and Venom. Oh, here was the comparison I wanted to ask. Forgive me. Beetlejuice 2. How did you feel about that movie if you saw it?
I still haven't watched it.
I still haven't watched it either.
I didn't like it.
Not really interested.
I think Tom's the only other one that's seen it.
I feel like I felt the same way for the most part after Beetlejuice 2 that I did after Venom 3. So.
Oh, I liked Venom 3 a lot more.
It's not me condemning it because they neither were harmless or harmful or offensive enough for me to say, don't watch it. But, I was like, okay, well, they didn't ruin anything.
It just keeps on trucking, though. It's making money.
Yeah, it's doing fine, but to me, I just felt like it was unnecessary. It wasn't good enough to justify a sequel this many years later.
It seems like people like it, though.
And that's what I think they need to shoot for is inoffensive. Like people aren't going to be walking out of there mad, It's probably not even rewatchable, but they didn't ruin anything, so keep it alive, I guess.
Unnecessary was Michael Keaton's comments the other day.
What did he say?
Oh, he just another celebrity come out and saying, "Oh, Trump." Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. He must have a sex tape with Diddy somewhere.
Completely unnecessary.
If I were a celebrity, I'd be using that as an out.
Oh man, after seeing the Leo one as well,
the first thing that crossed my mind when I saw that Michael Keaton promo of him shitting on Trump, I'm thinking he must have a Diddy sex tape. Because I really do think why you're seeing all of these celebrities trot out now. Because
Leo.
You're right about the DiCaprio video. It looks like a hostage tape. I do think that when they raided his home, they grabbed a lot of those tapes that he has, and I think some celebrities got some calls to say, "Listen, we're going to need you to go ahead and support Kamala."
It's funny. Endymion was asking earlier if you guys thought there'd be. Sorry,
hasn't the Department of Justice and all these organizations under Biden already proven themselves to be corrupt? We've seen them. Look at the shit that they've done to Trump openly. So I wouldn't put that kind of shit past them.
They won't even
this is all
the
speculation, right?
Right.
This is all speculation. I'm not saying it's all fact. I'm just saying. So, I think there's some blackmail going on in Hollywood. I think a lot of them, because a lot of them have been pretty silent until recently.